Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be getting into my everyday makeup drawer for June. If you are new here to my channel, if you recently subscribed, thank you. First of all, so awesome to have you here. So basically I film one of these videos here on my channel every single month, shopping my larger makeup stash, picking out things to put on my vanity where I get ready every single morning. And typically I kick these videos off by talking through some of the products that I've rediscovered, why I love them, why I've realized I don't really like them. I decide if I'm going to declutter things or if I'm just going to put them back into my stash to use in another month. But this time around things are going to be a little bit different because I realized most of the makeup I was using in May was new and not stuff that I was really using from my existing stash. This was part of the reason why I decided I needed to go on a no-buy for June. I posted that video last week in case you missed it. But basically I wanted to kind of try to minimize the influx of new stuff coming in because I know I'm still gonna get things in subscription boxes and in PR in the next month, so I decided I don't really need to buy anything. I want to get back to shopping my stash. So we are going to be jumping into taking a look at what I picked out to use in the month of June. Also, just as a little heads up, I am going to be giving you guys an update on my mini product project pan very soon. You guys will see as we go through my vanity and how I've organized my everyday makeup, like where I've put the minis so that way I actually remember to use them. But yeah, that's going to be a big focus for me in the coming month. I was trying to use these products in May as well. Another reason why I really didn't get as much use out of the rest of my makeup stash in full size between the new stuff I was testing and also the minis I was trying to pan, that was pretty much all I was using makeup wise for the last month. So what I would suggest if you want to hear more about the products that I was testing out and using, you should check out my May beauty report video that I posted a week or so ago. I will link it for you guys up here in the cards. I definitely talked a bunch about products that I had been testing out last month, and that was again, a lot of what was in my everyday makeup drawer. I also will be doing a makeup playtime update for you guys within the next week or so of the things I used later on in the month that I was testing out because I still am wanting to test those a little bit before I give you guys my final thoughts on those products. But yeah, with all that being said, let's head on over to my vanity and I will show you guys the products that I picked out to use for the month of June. So let's start out by talking about complexion stuff. A lot of things that you see here are the same from the last 6 months or so. There are a few new things. My Nabla Close-Up Futuristic Foundation. This is new to me. I did a whole dedicated video trying on a bunch of new Nabla products that I purchased recently, and I absolutely been loving this foundation so much. It may be one of my new favorites. It's got a nice medium coverage to it, and it's super lightweight. It's very, very comfortable on the skin, and I feel like it looks really nice and not too heavy. And the more that I've worn this, the more that I start to feel like it is a really great cruelty-free dupe for this guy right here, which is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation. This is my holy grail foundation. I absolutely love this guy, but it's not cruelty-free. And even though I'm not a cruelty-free blogger, influencer, whatever you want to call me, I've been trying to use more cruelty-free products when I can. I feel like I would love to support more brands that are cruelty-free. And on top of that, the Nabla foundation is significantly less expensive than Laura Mercier is. So if I can repurchase the Nabla in the future instead of getting this guy, I would greatly prefer it. And as you can see, I've got 2 bottles here. And they've got a pretty fair amount of use in them both. I'm not really sure how close I am to finishing either of these bottles because so much gets stuck to the side. I'm maybe going to need to scrape them down and kind of see what's in here. I'm going to guess I'm halfway done with this, maybe 2/3 the way done with this guy. But I think it might be interesting to try to see if I could finish up these bottles by the end of the year. And then moving forward, I might just repurchase the Nabla. As far as what else I have here, I have the Nabla Concealer, which I wasn't as big of a fan of as the foundation, but I am going to be continuing to test it out. Switched over to my summer shade of the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. I just started using this again and remembering how much I absolutely love it. This formula is beautiful, and since I've been trying so many new concealers lately, I feel like it's been kind of interesting to go back to this. It's a good one for sure. And then this guy here I'm feeling really torn about. So I picked up this Photo Focus Stick Foundation back in May before I went on my no-buy, and I was going to do a video like a full face using all stick products. And then the whole drama with Wet n Wild erupted with their cruelty-free status and them kind of like secretly selling in China and the whole 9 yards. And I just decided I really didn't want to focus on promoting the brand with everything they had going on. So I have this, I bought it, I've used it a few times, and I don't want the like product to go to waste now that I've got it, but I just feel very conflicted about like using this in a tutorial or anything like that, because I feel like right now Wet n Wild is kind of in some hot water. Then with all the concealers that I have back here, I want to get back to trying to pan some of this stuff. Like this Maybelline Fit Me concealer that I have, you can see I've made a pretty sizable dent in it. Like you can see where inside of the packaging the product's no longer clinging. I really have no idea how much is left in this tube, but I would like to try to finish this guy up. I also only have this much left of the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Concealer. This was an unexpected favorite of mine. I didn't love it when I first got it because I thought it was a little bit too dry, and now I'm kind of like obsessed with it, as you can see by the fact that I've almost used the whole thing up. So that's another one that I definitely would like to try to finish in the next couple of months. And then this is the never-ending tube of Tarte Shape Tape. I've had this for a couple of years now, I think. It's getting kind of old. It doesn't seem to be off consistency-wise, but like I've been trying to pan this and it just keeps going on and on and on forever. So this is another one I would like to finish. I already have a backup that I purchased like 6 months ago, thinking I was going to run out of this sooner. Yeah, didn't happen. So we got to move on to that guy and hopefully get this out of my collection ASAP. As for my mascaras this month, the two that I'm going to be using are the Maybelline Lash Sensational and the ColourPop BFF Volumizing Mascara. I picked this guy up a while ago, but I hadn't used it yet. I was kind of saving it for closer to a time when I would be able to do like a full face ColourPop video. It's something I might be doing either later this month or in July. So definitely going to be looking forward to testing this out. My Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara was just getting kind of old, so I pitched that, moved on to this guy. And then this was in the rotation last month as well, the Maybelline Lash Sensational, so I'm going to be continuing to use this for another month. I also switched up my lip options for this month. I wanted to bring some things back into the rotation, kept things more fun and colorful because summer is almost here, so brought back my Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in the shade Driver's Seat. This is a really pretty kind of pinky coral shade, so I want to try to use that. I also picked out this really fun kind of vibrant orangey red shade of the Pixi liquid lipstick, so I think this will be fun to use. And then this guy, which is honestly getting pretty old, and I probably should make sure it gets out of my collection by the end of the year. This is a Pixi Matte Luster lipstick in the shade Peach Blossom. Super, super pretty color for spring and summer. And it's got a really nice kind of fresh peachy tone to it, so I really enjoy wearing this lipstick at this time of year. I also thought I should bring this back into the rotation. It's the Physicians Formula Muru Muru Butter lipstick in the shade Brazilian Sunset. I had this guy in the rotation for a while, but then I put it back into storage for the last couple of months, and I feel like it'd be really nice for warmer weather. Super, super shiny, as you can see. It's like a very juicy lipstick, and this color, Brazilian Sunset, is such a pretty kind of like warm nude color. This guy's been in the rotation for a while, but I honestly haven't used it enough. It's a Flesh lipstick. I think it's their Fleshy Lips lipstick in the shade Moist. This is a pretty kind of like sheer melony color. Really easy to just like throw on for every day, so I want to get some use out of that. I've got this Tarte Color Splash lipstick in the shade Daiquiri, which is like a really fun, bright coral shade for spring, summer. I really enjoy this guy if I want like more of that statement lip kind of look. Speaking of statement lip, I feel like this Note lipstick is such a fun shade. It's called Pink Topaz, and it's like a really vibrant hot pink kind of color. Super fun and super pretty, so I wanted to use this again. The Becca Ultimate Love lipstick, I've had this guy for a while. This is the shade Dusk. It's a really pretty nude, so you guys have seen this before. I also wanted to rotate back in one of my ColourPop Luxe lipsticks. This is the shade Uno Mas, which is a very pale kind of peachy nude. Sometimes this one's a little light for me to wear all on its own, but it's nice if you want to just kind of like pop it on the center of the lips to make things a little more pouty too. I of course have my brand new Nabla lipstick in the shade Secret Season. Look at this packaging. How freaking cute is that? I love the feathers. This is a really pretty, almost, I thought it was going to be more of a deep nude, but it actually kind of looks on the lips a little bit more pinky coral. It's pretty. It's definitely just more colorful than I was expecting it to be, but I like it. This guy's been in the rotation for a while. My Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipstick in the shade Sweet Cream, another sort of a pinky coral shade. Really enjoy that, so we're holding on to that guy for a little bit longer. And then finally, this little baby Marc Jacobs Lamarque Lip Cream lipstick. This is actually a trial size that's in my mini project pan. It's the shade Slow Burn, which is a very sort of nice, dusty, rosy nude color. So I wanted to keep this up on my actual vanity here so that I don't forget to keep using it. So moving on to what I've got in my drawers, I definitely switched things up in here a little bit. I have that new Milani powder that I'm still testing out. Did not like this guy's foundation really, but I'm gonna be testing it out more as a setting powder, so I've got to keep you guys posted on that. My Bare Minerals Bare Pro Powder Foundation isn't going anywhere. I use this a ton in the summers, so I definitely wanted to keep that around. I am still testing out the Wander Beauty Smooth Sailing Perfecting Primer. I did not have room for this in my little primer jar we're going to get to momentarily, so I figured I'd make some room for it in here and actually just moved my Wander Beauty Powder Foundation into storage for now. Then I have this Tarte Guard Mineral SPF Powder. I really need to use this more because it is a sunscreen-based powder and it will expire this winter, so I need to use it up before the end of the year. It's pretty cool. It smells like vanilla. It's got SPF 30 in it. It's nice to kind of like touch up your SPF throughout the day, so I want to make sure I like throw this guy in my purse or use it to kind of like top off my makeup when I'm getting ready in the morning. And then since I had some extra space, I just tucked my little Hoola Quickie Contour Stick from Benefit in here. I didn't really have the room in my blush, bronzer, and highlight drawer, but I still do like to reach for this on occasion. Speaking of the blush, bronzer, and highlight drawer, these are my selections for June. Gave myself plenty of different blush and highlight options especially. And you'll also notice I got some minis in here. These are in my mini project pan. So again, I wanted to encourage myself to actually keep reaching for them and using them. And I figured the best way to do that was put them right here in this drawer. Along with that, I've got a Tarte blush and highlight. I hadn't used these in a long time, so I wanted to make sure that I reached for them again. This is the Amazonian Clay Blush in Captivating, a really pretty kind of matte coral. And then I have the highlight in Exposed. This guy is a little on the glittery side, a little on the metallic side, but it does give a really beautiful sheen to the skin. If you apply it lightly with a brush, it's not so crazy. But yeah, wanted to give this guy a go again because it has been months and months and months. I also grabbed for the Maybelline City Bronzer. This is something I bought like, I don't know, 5-6 months ago, and it was in the rotation I think back in January, February, and then it's been in storage since, so I thought we would bring it back. It's a really nice bronzer. It actually blends out really beautifully on the skin. I have the shade 200, which is like the medium shade, and it is perfect for me for the summertime, so looking forward to using this again. I also have my brand new Nabla highlight that I just hauled. This is a really cool duochrome shade. I feel like the video that I posted didn't quite do this highlight justice because the reflect is really hard to capture on camera. It's very pink and it's not in your face. It's a little more subtle. Like when you catch the light, it really does shine beautifully, but it's not like quite as, metallic as this Tarte highlight is, as you can see. Which is nice if you like something that's a little bit more natural looking. So we'll keep on playing with this guy. Then I also wanted to bring back my Sigma Aura powder in the shade Cordorosa. This is one of my favorite blushes ever. It's such a pretty neutral, nudie pink color. It's flattering with like any look that you create. So looking forward to using this again, as well as my Pixi, Glowy Gossamer Duo in the shade Subtle Sunrise. This is a freaking beautiful highlight. It is very, just like natural looking and glossy on the skin. I usually like mix these two shades together, and it just gives this really beautiful kind of like wet looking sheen to this skin. Again, it's not like glittery, chunky. It's really, really pretty. So definitely felt like this guy needed some love again. And then last drawer here, no changes. All the same brow products, eye primers that I normally been using. Going to try to use up this Anastasia clear brow gel that's in my mini project pan, but other than that, yeah, nothing too exciting here to report. Speaking of my mini project pan, I just wanted to show you guys quick. I have a bunch of these little metal wire baskets. So I threw a bunch of the other minis that I'm trying to finish up in this basket so that way I can actually remember to keep using them. And this guy, while not a mini, is something I am also trying to pan. It's my Winky Lux Matcha Lip Balm. I literally only have this much left. So this guy, definitely hoping to finish up within the month. Then I've got my jar of primers, which you guys have seen before, and this is pretty much the same as last month. Got my Too Faced Primed in Peachy, Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This coats tinted face sunscreen. I've been really enjoying a lot as a primer, so I wanted to reach for this a little bit more lately. I have the Coola Daydream Mineral Primer that's SPF 30. This guy is a great alternative to the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. They are like identical, except this has more sunscreen and it's cheaper. Then I've got this Touch in Sol No Poreblem Primer. I haven't used this in a little while, but I was really into it for like, I think the month of April. I got it in a BoxyCharm, and when I first got it, I was using it a bunch, and now I've been kind of using this Too Faced one a lot, so should get back to this. Also should get back to using my Ren Perfect Canvas. This was something I used so much last summer because it's a great like silicone-free mattifying primer. It's all natural, got a lot of really good like fruit enzymes and stuff in there, so this is something, again, I need to get back to. And then last month I told you guys I was going to keep this Too Faced Hangover RX priming spray on my vanity, so I remember to use it to like prep my skin. And I was doing that for a while up until I started trying to pan this mini of the Quick Fix complexion prep priming spray from Urban Decay. So this is kind of taking priority while I'm trying to finish it up, but as soon as this is empty, I'm going to go back to using this guy as a prep for my makeup. I actually find that it really does kind of help your foundation to glide on a little bit more nicely because it like hydrates your skin right before you go in with everything else. Now, I don't have anything new to report as far as eyeliners and eyeshadow sticks go. Everything in here is the same as it has been for months and months and months. If you want to know more about what's in my collection, you should watch my declutter video on eyes and brows. I basically showed you guys and swatched like everything that's here, so I will link it for you up in the cards if you want to check that out. But lips, I definitely switched some things up for this month. The first of which I went and grabbed my little baby Fenty Gloss Bomb. I haven't used this in a while, and this is a beautiful lip gloss, so wanted to bust this out. Then in here we have this L'Oreal Colourpop Shine liquid lipstick in this really pretty orangey shade, so I wanted to wear that. I have my new Dose of Colors liquid lipstick that I got in my May BoxyCharm in the shade Strawberry Pop. I thought this was super pretty, and I haven't honestly worn it since I did my unboxing video, so wanted to make sure I got some use out of this again. Then it has been a hot minute since I used this Bare Minerals liquid lipstick in the shade Weekend. This is one of my favorite nudie, kind of like everyday shades to wear, and the formula is amazing. It smells like buttercream frosting. It's very hydrating for a matte liquid lipstick. It gets very moussey. It's not exactly the most transfer proof, but I don't mind considering how comfortable it is. I also wanted to reach for one of these Karity liquid lipsticks. This is in the shade Tamar, which is kind of a pretty pinky nude color, so this is something, again, I haven't reached for in a long time, but it's pretty long wearing, so I wanted to get back to using it again. I also thought it might be kind of fun to reach for one of these Wander Beauty lip setters. This is cool because it's got a lip liner on one side and then a lipstick on the other, and they're in coordinating shades. This one is in the shade Fuchsia class, so it's like a really vibrant kind of hot pink color, super fun for summertime, so I thought this would be pretty seasonally appropriate and fun to reach for. And then of course my Dose of Colors Lip It Up satin lipstick in the shade Cinnamon Swirl that I love oh so much, one of my absolute favorite nude lippies, so I wanted to have this guy on hand. And the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit High Shine lipstick in the shade Send Nudes that I was testing out last month. I decided to keep this in the rotation just a little bit longer to see if I change my thoughts on it at all. I also wanted to give you guys a quick little update slash look at my setting powder basket. As I mentioned in my makeup inventory video, this has gotten like a little bit out of control. I don't know how I ended up with so many loose setting powders, but I did. So I have the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, which is really great. This is probably my favorite drugstore setting powder slash one of my favorite setting powders ever. So I've got this. I have the Pretty Vulgar Powder Room setting powder that comes with like this really cute little pink powder puff. I actually really do enjoy this one quite a bit, but it's kind of taken a back seat while I've been testing out these other things. Then I have the Milk Makeup Blur and Set Matte Loose Setting Powder. This is in the light version. This guy's interesting. It has this like weird hard sponge. I don't know what the heck you're supposed to do with this. And then the inside kind of has like a net to keep the powder from spilling everywhere. I do find it actually to be a little bit difficult to use to get the right amount of powder on my brush, but the actual powder itself is super, super soft and finely milled. Definitely good. I feel like even if you have normal to dry skin, like even though it's a matte, it's not super drying, so that's kind of nice. I've got the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Setting Powder in the shade Butter. This packaging is super luxe and beautiful. You get a lot of product in here, and I do feel like this airbrushes the skin really nicely, but it's not like the most oil controlling powder I've ever tried. Y'all know I've been hooked on this Peach Perfect powder though lately from Too Faced. This smells good, it tastes good, which is weird, but it does, and it really makes your skin look airbrushed and flawless. It's been kind of hard for me to put this guy down because I've been loving it so much, but I have been trying to, so I can actually finish up using this guy, which is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. As you guys can see, I don't have like a lot of this left. I've been trying to finish it up for quite a while now. I think I'm going to focus on using up this guy as much as possible along with the minis that I'm also trying to pan. Even though I love my other powders and I do really want to and enjoy using them, I just don't want to waste this and feel like it's time. It's time to let it go. And then of course I also have this guy that I picked up and still really haven't had a chance to test it out at all. This is the Milani Make It Last Loose Setting Powder, and I picked this up when I bought all those other Milani products maybe about a month and a half ago and just really did not have the time to test it out. So this is again something hopefully eventually I'll get to, but it may not be for a while if I'm really trying to focus on panning other stuff. Speaking of panning, I didn't want to forget this guy. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Multi-Talent Fixing Spray, and I am also trying to pan this guy. This is nice, it's alcohol free. It definitely makes your makeup look really melted into your skin, look less powdery, but it is not really for oil control. So as a person with oily skin, it's not my favorite. I would prefer to use this more in the winter than in the summer, but if you have like normal to dry skin and you wanted something that was just gonna make your makeup look really beautiful, this is super nice, although it does have a lot of fragrance in it. I don't really love that. And then as far as eyeshadow goes, these three palettes are my main focus to use in the next month. This little guy here is a dupe palette that I created with my eyeshadow singles of the Jouer Tan Lines palette. So I did a whole video on it, on what shades I picked out. I created a look with this that was really fun, like a glitter cut crease look. So if you missed that video, I will link it up in the cards for you, so you can go and check it out. But yeah, I definitely want to use this again, create another couple of looks, just because the color story is super fun. And then I also want to do 3 looks with this Nabla Secret palette that I also picked up at the very end of May. This is such a beautiful color story. Love this, and this palette is new. It just launched at the very end of May, right around Memorial Day, so definitely want to give you guys some more inspo for how to use this in case you also decide to pick it up. And then finally, this guy, which I also did a dedicated video on, creating a look and kind of testing it out for the first time on camera. This is the LA Girl Hot Hot Heat palette in the shade Aloha Vibes. Apparently now this is also available at Ulta, which is amazing. So if you guys weren't able to find it at CVS and you wanted to get your hands on this palette, you can get it from Ulta, and it's $15, which you really seriously can't beat. So this is a really beautiful, fun, summery color story. I enjoy it a lot, and I feel like I could create so many other fun looks with this, so I definitely want to try to get more use out of it this month. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed taking a little tour of my vanity and seeing what I've got in the rotation for the next month. If there are any products you want to know more about, you want to see me use on camera, definitely leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys want to see. I always love hearing your feedback. And feel free to also let me know what's in your everyday makeup stash for June. Is there anything you're really excited to use? Any summer makeup that you've had like sitting collecting dust in a drawer somewhere that you can't wait to bust back out? Tell me all about it in the comments down below. Also, side note, if you're liking the eye makeup that I'm wearing right now, it is one of the 3 looks that I'm going to be creating for my 3 looks 1 palette with this baby right here, the Nabla Secret palette. So if you want to see how I created this eyeshadow look, it will be coming your way very soon. So yeah, on that note, I'm gonna let you guys get back to your crazy busy lives, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.